What's going on, guys? It's your boy, the Cash Critic, and welcome to the official breakdown of Fast X, the official trailer for 2023, which is set to release on May 19th of 2023. Guys, I am super excited. I had my kind of, doubts on this film prior to the actual trailer itself. And honestly, there was an interview with Vin Diesel where he even stated, we're bringing it back to the roots, bringing it back to racing family, right? And I feel like they probably know they went a little bit over the top with the previous film on Fast 9, especially with that space kind of stuff that didn't really necessarily work out. And definitely in this trailer itself, I am so hyped up, so excited. You guys have no idea how pumped I am for this film, and I'm sure all of you guys are pumped up as well. So without further ado, be sure to give it a like, hit that subscribe button down below, share it with a friend. Let's jump into it. We're going to do some screen grabs and just go through the trailer very thoroughly and see exactly what we missed, because obviously it was a long trailer and it was fast paced. So obviously it starts off with the original home. It looks like it got a little bit of a redo, right? And you can see here, the whole family is here, right? Now, right here, we have our very first shot of supposedly the grandma of the actual family. There was an interview with Vin Diesel that's saying everyone has an abuela, right? And always bringing the family together. So clearly you can see them here together. I'm not sure if it's his grandmother specifically, or, maybe a different family members, maybe Paul Walker's grandmother, right? Brian's. So who knows? So that's the very first scene here. Obviously, as you can previously see, this is the car, right? The muscle car that he's been working on. This is the very ending of also the previous film where he was working on this car. So I'm glad to see it finally be on the streets, because this vehicle is going to be an absolute beast. Just look at the engine scoop on it. It's really going to be something, I can tell you that. You'll be able to see later down the trailer how much power it really has, just to let you know. Now, right here, of course, this is a great shot of his son just sitting in the car with Vin Diesel outside, and kind of just getting those roots of where his father came from. What does it feel like to hold a car? Well, hold a steering wheel, right? And to be part of a family such as his. And he grew up. He looks so much more older, guys. Look at this. He looks so much more older in this shot. And honestly, maybe he has a bright future in the film industry as well. Or maybe he continues the saga of the Fast and Furious, or maybe even a spin-off down the line. Who knows, right? You never know. It feels like these movies are never ending, right? So that's ultimately the truth. Now, it looks like he is in an area at this point where someone has been watching him. And as you guys know, Jason Momoa is the main antagonist of this film. So maybe this is his actual area of how he watches them. And just so happens that Toretto, Vin Diesel, right, is actually in his lair, as you could say, and pretty much now seeing how this person knows everything about them. So I thought this was a really cool scene. This is our first official shot of Jason Momoa. No, it's not Aquaman, but he is supposed to be an absolute badass in this film. So you'll see throughout the trailer, and I'm glad they actually had a long trailer, because it didn't show too much, but it does show exactly what route they're going for, which is more of the same, to say the least. But they showed the new characters. Look at that. He just looks great on that motorcycle. The film itself is really, really given a statement as a whole that this has to deal with family, and nothing's going to break them, which I know the cliche thing, right? Everyone's stating all the time it's always about family. They make all the memes, all the jokes, but this is part one of a part two film, which is ultimately technically should be the very last one. Looks like we're back in Brazil as well. There are shots in Portugal from what I heard as well, as you will see in the actual scenery as they zoom out, zoom into certain areas. But looks like right here, right, we have the statue, the infamous statue of Brazil of Jesus Christ himself, which is nice that they always reflect this. So it's almost like they're going back to the previous role. Now, this is our first shot, right? It's almost like it is a flashback of Paul Walker himself, Brian, right? And they're kind of just throwing it back to Fast and the Furious 5. And right here, when they take those safes, which is something we did not see previously, right? And of course, this is most likely something they added in now. Jason Momoa being behind those safes and kind of having like that vendetta out for them. So this has been something that clearly he has been planning for a long time. And if you guys don't know, his name is Dante in the film, however, so it seems as though Dante has been planning something a lot longer than most previous antagonists to try to get back at them. So awesome shot right here, right? Paul Walker, rest in peace, man. Miss that guy. And right here you can see Jason Momoa obviously getting knocked off of the highway and into the water itself. Opening his eyes, just pretty much stating that he's alive and he's coming back, right? He's coming to get you guys. Now, it looks like this is actually where he ends up getting captured, maybe, and I don't necessarily know by who, but most likely it's from the people that Vin Diesel is working side by side with as well. So just keep that in mind. But obviously it doesn't do any justice because, you know, he obviously gets out of it. And I thought this was very interesting, this scene right here. It's almost like he's representing the Jesus Christ statue in Brazil as well, while he's overlooking the whole entire city. Now, I don't know if this is Brazil specifically or Portugal, but it's almost like he owns this. This is his territory and not Vin Diesel's. So a really cool shot right there as well. So this was very interesting. It looks like they have some kind of machine that creates some kind of whirlwinds. So maybe something that we'll see in the film. And this is our very first shot of Brie Larson. Guys, she is in the film, Captain Marvel herself, right? And I know a lot of people aren't the biggest fan of Brie Larson, unfortunately, but she is Tess in the film. And apparently, she is the sister of Paul Walker, or Brian, right? Do not quote me on that, but that is the rumor that's going on right now. We don't officially know just yet. However, this may be the sister, and you know, obviously, she's going to be playing a very big role and filling a very big shoe if that is the case. And she looks absolutely phenomenal in this film, and you'll see her in a few action scenes as well where she looks dangerous. So I'm excited that she's in this film too. The cast in this film as a whole is unbelievable. From top to bottom, they really nailed the cast. Now, right here, it looks like their house, Vin Diesel's home, is getting raided. And obviously, you can see here his sister, right, getting pretty much knocked over and tied up by the police themselves. John Cena, his very first shot here, and he pretty much just does state in this scene, what's the plan, Dom? So it looks like he's actually working side by side with Vin Diesel in this film. So he's going to be playing, hopefully, a very big role in the help of trying to take down Jason Momoa, also known as Dante. So that's exciting to see. Look at that. Now, this scene specifically, guys, oh my gosh. This scene brings me back to Too Fast, Too Furious, the very first race scene with the 4 cars lined up. Paul Walker there, right? They got the huge ramp in the highway. Ludacris, you know, being the actual person to set it up as a whole, taking the bids. And this really makes it feel like they're bringing it back to the racing roots of I believe, of 2002. So I'm excited to see, you know, this scene play out and see if it's an actual, you know, fair race too from beginning to end. So I love it. I just love it. And you can see, right? There was blood on that cross as well. And even Michelle even stated one of us might not come back. So that's something huge. It could be, you know, do or die in this film. And as Vin Diesel said, as many said, expect to see losses in this film going into part 2 because obviously it is the end of the road, so they're going to have to make some drastic changes. So we have John Cena whooping, per usual. We have Jason Momoa, and that looked like he was encountering Vin Diesel. A huge rolling, not exactly sure what that is, a huge rolling kind of metal ball, I guess. Maybe from a crane. It looks like it was just taking out everyone, right? Jason Momoa, clearly he's into muscle cars as well. Like, you can clearly see the vehicle that he's driving, and also the previous vehicle that he was driving as well is all muscle cars. So him and Vin Diesel have a lot of similarities as well. And now this is our very first shot, guys. Very first shot of Alan Ritchson. So here he is. He's in the film as well, right? Very exciting. He's also another character that kind of reminds me of what the characters that John Cena portrays in this film too. But looks like maybe he's taking the replacement job of Dwayne Johnson. Who knows? And working very closely with the Federals, right? So let's see what he does in this film too. Han back in action. Our very first shot. Yes, she's back. Helen Mirren. So she's back in action. I want to see exactly what she has to portray in this film. But, you know, hopefully, there's a lot going on, guys. There's a lot going on in this film, and everything's going to come together. So it's exciting stuff. And this is a shot taken almost straight out of the previous film, right? With the racing, with the culture, the family members, everyone, right? It's very, I really do love this kind of scenery. And look at that. Jason Momoa is kind of like turf wars with his side of the streets, his gang. Well, I don't want to say gang, right? Like his mobsters. And then you have Vin Diesel, you know, kind of hammering it out as well as you can see here against his side. So it's really, really kind of like an East Coast, West Coast, right? But this is a great shot, right? The lineup of the cars and looking like another race as well. Well, actually the same race as previous, but just from a different angle. So very exciting stuff. My gosh, so exciting. Now this vehicle that John Cena has looks absolutely crazy. Looks like he has bazookas on the side of his vehicle, right? It's an old car, completely whipped out with armor around it, headlights on it, right? Maybe high beams, who knows? Probably has plates all around it. That's how you know it's going to be a crazy action-packed scene. And then additionally, the man himself, Jason Statham, is back in the film. And guys, I actually tweeted this a little while ago as well, that I did not know that Fast 9 had a post-credit scene. I felt so embarrassed realizing that. So Jason Statham and Han went to go visit him. And you're going to see Han in just a little bit. Han went to go visit him and pretty much was letting him know that it's not over. He needs him. So maybe we'll see Jason Statham as well, you know, go onto the side of Vin Diesel and help him out to take out Jason Momoa. Because Jason Momoa in this film, Dante, is a huge threat. Right? Look at that action. It's phenomenal. And right here, Jason asks Han, you still know how to drive? And boom, baby. Look at that. Bringing it back to Tokyo Drift life, guys. My gosh, when I saw this scene, check out the trailer reaction because it's up. When I saw this scene, oh my gosh, my mind blew out of my head. I am so pumped. Hopefully we see a ton more drift in here. I would honestly love to see a spin-off series of what happened as well with Han after the car crash, because apparently he was still alive. So I wouldn't mind it. And maybe, you know, a spin-off series of just more background in Tokyo of how he actually came up to where he was in that spot, right? Because I love the drifting, and it was all about the vehicles. It was all about, you know, just the versatile of what a vehicle can do and a different kind of scenery with racing as well, rather than just a regular drag race. So, or a circuit one, right? So this is awesome. He goes, what do you think, right? A little bit more drift in there with the Lamborghini, so that's sick to see. All right, in this scene, guys, I'm going to just let it play out because Brie Larson whoops it here. And she does a great job doing it too. Look at this. Ready? Bam, bam, bam. Man, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Look at that. So, you know, and this is what I'm saying, right? There's a lot of scenes of Brie Larson in this trailer, and with very close ties, right? Now she's talking to Michelle. Now she's having she had a very serious conversation with Vin Diesel, right? And this is why I think most likely she is the sister of Brian, of Paul Walker, in the film at least, right? So I think she's going to really be playing a very, very big role, a much bigger role than we think, a lot of us think. Of course, the duo whooping it as well. Now this scene is sick. Look at that. Look at that. That's like a stunt bike. That's a stunt move right there. And this scene right here, you can see, right? Jason Momoa, also known as Dante, has Vin Diesel's son. Now, you do not want to do that. You are messing with the wrong family, let me tell you, Jason, because it's about to get real serious. Now, this scene, right? He's using the vehicle that he's been working on, and this is how you know This vehicle is no joke. This has power. This has torque. This has anything that you can possibly think for in an engine. Look at this. It wouldn't be Fast and the Furious without a crazy explosion, crazy action scene where two helicopters harpoon a vehicle and the vehicle is stronger than the helicopters and forces them to collide together. Come on. It doesn't get any better than that. It doesn't get any more, I guess, this day and age, Fast and the Furious than that, right? My gosh. What a great shot, man. Fast X. In this scene here, I'm not exactly entirely sure of what's going on, right? But this is also the very first shot of Charlize Theron, sorry. And also as well with Vin Diesel's technical wife, right? Michelle Rodriguez Letty. And they're fighting it out. And I'm not sure exactly what's going on, what the point of this scene is. I have a speculation where I feel like they're trying to turn them into like almost superhumans to help out. And just from this, I'm jumping that high. I mean, I think something like that's going on, right? So the end of the road begins, right? This is part 1. So hopefully, part 2 is the very actual last Fast and Furious movie. Even though this looks great, I think it's time to end it, guys. But thank you so much for tuning in to my official trailer breakdown. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think, what you're most excited for, how crazy is the film, right? And just your speculations overall. And let me know if you like this kind of content as well. As always, guys, it's your boy, The Cash Critic. Thanks so much for tuning in. You can tune into more videos right now. Peace.